Hi, I'm Andrew with Vata, and today I'm going to go over our 5010 and 5011 models. These are models for learning port access. And I'm going to go over a couple of different things on them. The first one I'm going to go over is what the model has in it, what it comes with, and then I'm going to go over how the models are used or how they can be used, and then at the end I'll go over some of the questions we get about the models. So to start off, first thing that comes with the model is this is it. It's just this red case, everything is included inside of there. So to set it up, all you're gonna do is open up the model, and like I said before, this is our 5010, this is the lighter skin, and 5011, the darker skin. And when you have the model open, first thing is gonna be the skin flap on the top. So you'll see here that the skin flap has a thicker and a thinner side. So that's gonna be for when you access, you're gonna wanna do either something that's a little bit more superficial or a slightly deeper placement. Then it's gonna have the main model here. The model is gonna have a flat side over here. It's gonna have a shallow insert here and an insert with a slit, and then the port. And I'll go over more of this in just a second. And then on the side of the model is gonna be this little kit right here. Inside this kit is gonna be everything you need to get going. Again, you might have your own supplies, but if you're someplace that doesn't, or you don't have a lot of different supplies, this does come with enough to get you going. So as you open this up, two things in here as far as Huber needles. We're gonna have a 3/4 inch and a inch Huber needle. These are non-safety Hubers. What's nice about these is that you can reuse them, even though they're not something that you would typically be using in the clinical setting. For training, they're great because you can reuse them. The two other items in here, first one is gonna be a couple of packets of like a lubricating jelly, and I'll go over how those can be used or are used with the model. And then the last thing is gonna be a 5 ml syringe. Again, you might have your own syringes, but again, this gets you going right out of the box. So as you're gonna go and use the model, first thing is gonna be, what do you have to do to set up the model? You don't have to do anything. All you gotta do is take the port out and place it on the skin, and the model's ready to use. Like I said before, you're gonna have this flat area here. What's nice about that is if I put my port down here and I go to access by placing the skin then on top, it's gonna be a flat, stable access. So people are gonna be able to identify where the port is, locate it, and then actually secure it and go to access it. The second and third locations are gonna be in these two inserts I talked about a little bit ago. So the first one is gonna be this shallow bowl type. When you place it in here, a couple of things. One, it's gonna be slightly deeper now below the surface of the skin, but also this is gonna be one of the places where you can use that lubricating jelly. If you put it into the base as well as on top of the port, when you go to push down on the port, unless you're securing the port correctly, the port will have a tendency to just slide around a little bit more than it would if it was sutured in place correctly. And then the third location is gonna be this insert here with this sideways slit. What you can do with that one there is you're gonna be taking the port and turning it on its side. And this is again a port that maybe isn't secured as well as it should underneath the skin. And people are gonna have to learn, how do you identify what am I feeling underneath the skin and how do I go in there and correct that, or do I need to do something beyond just manually correcting that? So in any of those locations, you can go ahead and place the port in there, place the skin on top, and then when you're going to palpate, you're gonna find that port and turn it around. So what's nice about this is that, again, there's not gonna be anything that you're gonna need to get outside of the model, unless you wanna use your own Hubers or your own syringe. Everything's included with the model. So right out of the box, you can go through showing somebody, this is what a port will look like in general. Obviously, this is not gonna be the port you're using. These are non-sterile ports. But the general concept of a port is gonna be there. And then how do you access it? So going over what a Huber needle is, how do you hold the Huber as you're going in? How do you keep the wings out, and how do you avoid accidental needle sticks? Inserting it into the skin, going in there, and then actually pulling back on your syringe to see if you've got a correct both placement as well as the line being clear if you get a blood return. With the model, there is a fluid bag that is inside of the skin. So that's gonna be attached to the port, and that's gonna have the blood in there already, so it's ready to go. So this does allow you to pull back to aspirate out some blood, as well as to flush the line if you'd like to, and actually go through that entire process. Once this is full, you will need to drain it. You can do that right through the port if you'd like, and that's a really easy way of doing it. Just put a Huber in there and pull back until it's drained, and then refill it with fresh blood. A couple of things that people really like about this model is kind of like some of our other models. It's just really simple and it's really easy to set up the model. This model is less than 30 seconds from when you open it up till you're ready to go. You can do a few different scenarios on it, so it's not just a one-dimensional model. And it's gonna be really durable. This skin holds up to the Huber needles extremely well. You're gonna get thousands of accesses in the skin before it's gonna need to be replaced. And so that's gonna get you a lot of usage at a relatively low price point. The port it does come with. Now that is a Vata supplied, Vata manufactured port. We do have customers that call us up and say, hey, we don't use that style of port, we use this. And typically, they want to be able to use their port on their model. If that's what you would like to do, that is something that's really easy to do. You can do that one of two ways. One is you can send your port to us. We will install it onto the bag for you. We've been able to do that with almost every port that we've been sent. Or you can do that yourself. Again, you might not have the right connections, but that's something we'll do for you. It's no charge, just keeps the model price the same. Going through the parts it comes with, the Hubers, I did mention that these ones are non-safety Hubers, but we do have these available to purchase. We do have a lot of different people that will purchase these because they want to have a ready supply of needles that can be reused, again, to lower the cost of training. So if I am somebody that is learning, I can go ahead and do 5 or 10 accesses using basically the same Huber and get a lot of use out of one needle. And then as I'm gonna do my final access or two and kind of show that I know what I'm doing, then I'll go ahead and use the safety Hubers, which are one-time use and a much higher price point, kind of lower that cost for training. Care of the model, that is a big question. People are always asking about all of our models. How do I take care of this model? For this one here, a couple of things. One is if you're not gonna be using the model for several months, we do have some people that will run trainings, just 2 or 3 times a year. If you're gonna be doing that, we would recommend flushing the port and maybe draining the blood bag of fluid, flushing it as well, kind of cleaning it out a little bit, and then refilling it when you're gonna be using it again. The other thing is something I would recommend no matter how often you use it, and that is just to clean it periodically, especially if it gets dirty. If it does get any kind of dirt or grime built up on this skin, kind of 2 different ways to clean it. First one is gonna be soap and water. Just take some soap and water and a clean rag, wash it down really well, and then let it air dry. If that doesn't clean off all of the dirt on there, basically, isopropyl alcohol is a great alternative. That's gonna be a little bit more aggressive. It's not gonna damage the material in any way, but that can be used as well, and that's gonna clean off everything really well. No matter which of those 2 options you use, let the model completely dry. Don't put it away right away, let it completely dry. Once it's dry, then apply some baby powder to it, or like cornstarch talc, or a similar product. Apply that onto the skin material, and then wipe off the excess with a clean, dry towel. That's gonna kind of give it a nice soft feel. It's also gonna prevent dirt from bonding with the material going forward. It's not gonna completely stop it, but it will keep it clean a little bit longer. As you're using this model, like with any model that you're gonna be accessing with needles or cutting or anything like that, parts will go bad eventually. So the first thing would be either the skin or the port. Those are really gonna be the 2 main consumables, and both of those can be replaced. Like I said, this is gonna get several thousand accesses. This will get 1,000, 2,000 accesses. It's gonna be quite a few. And so if either one of those go bad, you can go ahead and find the replacement parts. We'll put some information at the end of this video to the product page for these products, and those will all be there for under the replacement parts section. One other thing we do get people asking questions on is, why would I use this over another model that's out there, or even our own Chester chest model? We do have our Chester model on our website as well, so feel free to go check that out. Couple of differences between this and Chester. Chester does more. Chester's also at a much different price point. It's multiple times more expensive than this. And then the other thing is gonna be, if you're something that's either a smaller facility where maybe you don't have the budget, or you're a bigger facility and you wanna train a lot of people. Chester's more expensive, but it's a great model and it does a lot more. This model here is going to be a smaller, less expensive model that's more portable. So if I have 10 people that I want to be training at a time and I want to get them through the class quickly or get them a lot of practice, and maybe I get multiples of these and put those into small groups and they're able to get more practice that way. Or if I'm somebody that's going to have to move around a lot for training, whether that's within a single facility or traveling to multiple facilities, maybe having a couple of these in my toolkit is going to be a really good option, because I can put 2 or 3 of these in my bag when I'm going somewhere, and I can take a Chester with me as well, and then I can again do more training on port access and get more people educated quickly, in addition to getting them more practice individually. So again, this is a great model on its own. It's also a great model to go in conjunction with our Chester chest model. And again, just a really good option as far as ease of use and simplicity. And just like we did when we put it out to put the model away, all you do is you place the port in here upside down. I do see people putting that in there the wrong way quite often. Put the skin flap back on top of it. You're gonna put this kit all back together, again, or if you have your own supplies, but put that in there and then just close it up, and the model is ready to go back onto a storage shelf until you're ready to use it again. So really easy to get it out, really easy to set it up, put it away, really, really nice price point, and just a great model that's gonna be durable and give you a lot of good practicing ability with port access. If you have any questions on this model, we will put the link to the product at the end of the video. And then again, if there's anything you see that you still have a question on, feel free to reach out to one of our team members and we'll be happy to give you that answers. Thank you.